Hello Daz Studio users! Today I want to show you 3 things that make your renders even better. Alright, happy Friday everyone. I hope you had a great week and you're looking forward to the weekend. Now today I want to talk about 3 things that you can do that will up your renders and set them apart from the ordinary. Now number 1 is going to be, of course, posing. We want to pose our character as realistic as possible, but I want to focus on 2 things. I want to focus on our character's eyes, which is very important to render, and her hands, which can make or break your scene. Now, the eyes you want to have posed correctly because that is usually where we look at our character first. And so the eyes need to stand out. Now, often we're going to be making a pose where the eyes are not looking directly at the camera, and this just adds some dimension and mystery to the render. And so I highly recommend that you play around with the eyes. This is also where AI just gets it wrong. Often they totally mess up the eyes on an AI image, and you can tell right away that there's just something funky with the eyes, and it's AI. In Daz Studio, you can take that extra step. You can get your eyes exactly the way that you want them, and your render will show it. Next is the hands. And with the hands, this is another thing that AI just can never get correct. When you look at an AI image, you're going to see things like multiple fingers, missing hands. Like, I don't know what the deal is, but if we take a few minutes and just kind of pose those hands, that's going to make this render really stand out. And so take your time. Make sure you just kind of bend those fingers in a realistic way where they are holding whatever it is that you have them doing. And you're going to notice a huge difference. We don't have to worry about adding extra fingers or having something majorly messed up in Daz Studio. If you take a few minutes and just pose those fingers, you're going to get everything perfect. All right, so the next thing, number 2, is you want to always think about gravity when you are creating your scene. And this involves things like the way that the hair lays down on your character, her clothes, and things like her body parts. So for example, if we want to make this look more realistic, we need to move her hair so that it's in a position that is natural. I see this a lot as a mistake in Daz Studio and other CGI, where the character is going to be leaning over or upside down, something like that, and the hair is in the totally wrong position, kind of at the default position where it's just hanging down like she's standing up. Now, I admit that it is hard to pose hair in Daz Studio, so the easiest way around this is to try and get a high-quality hair product where you can move things as much as possible, and that will eliminate you trying to pose that hair. So in this case, our Milika girl, her ponytails, they're pretty fixed, but I can move the ponytail around to make it look a little more natural. Sometimes you don't need a whole lot. You can do this without moving a lot of the hair, but just having that gravity kind of pull on the hair is a big attribute to your scene. The same with like her breasts. If you have her laying on her side, you want to move body parts like breasts, arms, thighs, and pose them. Take a minute and pose them in the correct position so that gravity is pulling them down horizontally. So that is just a really good tip to try and think of as you're making your scene. All right, and the third and final one for this video has to be lighting. And with lighting, we want to make it as dynamic as possible. So whether you are using the 3 spotlight technique, where you're going to be using 3 spotlights shining down onto your character and your scene, or if you're going to the render settings and using something in the environment mode like sun and sky only, or dome and scene, you want to make sure that you have some dynamic lighting. In this case, my lighting, I was using sun and sky, and I have the light behind her shining with emission, and I get this nice contrast of light. I've got a big spotlight coming through the window, and then with the sun and sky only, I get this nice contrast on her shoulders, and you can see some shadows. Anything you can do with light to make it bounce, to make your scene stand out, is going to be a good method. So with the lighting, you want to spend a little bit of time. What's nice is you can set up lighting the way that you like it, and once you save it, you can use it over and over again. You can also use a scene subset with lighting to get the same lighting in multiple scenes if you would like. Alright, so for a Friday video, this might be kind of short and sweet, but I just thought I would share these kind of things. And honestly, I was thinking about them because I was reading comments about AI, and I was thinking these are some things that AI just can't do. And it's getting to the point with me where I just love to kind of show how AI has a lot of deficits, and something like Daz Studio, which is going to go away, it's never going to last because AI is going to take over, how it still is so much better. All right, so I hope you have fun rendering, and I hope you learned something. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and hit that thing. Help my little channel out, and don't forget to like and comment. Until Tuesday, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and happy rendering.